Hi, my name is Quinn, and I'm the Early Literacy Coordinator with Newfoundland and Labrador Public Libraries. So this week for TD Summer Reading Club, Emily challenged you to read local. And I'm here to share an activity with you today that will help you to write or tell local stories. Authors get their inspiration from all sorts of places. And it's quite evident with our Newfoundland authors that they're inspired by the landscape in Newfoundland and Labrador. I find it especially present in The Land Puffin by Laurie Doody, which is all about a parrot who spends some time with puffins. So in this book, we see some very iconic St. John's images, like the colorful row housing. We also see the oceanscape and ships. And this might be something we see in both Newfoundland and Labrador. I know when I look out down my street, that's something that I could see. And very iconic, our lighthouse with our puffins. I just love the illustrations in this book. So for today's summer reading activity, we're going to create a story using where we live or where we have visited in our province of Newfoundland and Labrador as inspiration. Now, I'm going to show you how I've started a story in Canva. But you don't need to use Canva, which is a computer program, or a computer at all. You could draw a picture based on what you see. You could also edit or alter a printed picture or photo of our province. So really, all we want to do today is be inspired by the land around us and to create a story from that inspiration. So here's the end result of my story starter. I've created the first page of a comic book. Kieran, who works in Technical Services Division of the libraries and who you'll see in later videos, shared some of her pictures from her visit to Gros Morne last summer. Now, looking at these images, I really got inspired and my creative juices started flowing. I thought it would be fun to write a comic about a cat and a dog hiking in Gros Morne, who just happen to stumble upon a dragon flying over Western Brook Pond. Yikes. Let's take a closer look at how I created the comic. First, you'll need to sign up for a Canva account. If you have an email address, that's easy. If you don't have an email address, I'm sure a grown-up will be able to help you sign up. You can also look online for other story and comic book creators. I'll link a few down below. Canva has plenty of templates to choose from. I want to create a comic with a cat and a dog, so I'll type that into the search. There I see a comic template that will work perfectly, so I select that and I delete the first page because it's not needed. Here I have the template for my comic. I'll add the title, I can resize it using the corner buttons so that it fits perfectly. Next, I need to add my pictures. After I've uploaded the picture to my computer, I can just right-click and copy it, and then right-click again and paste it into Canva. You could also upload the image if you wanted to, or hit Control-V. Now I need to resize the image to fit in my comic book template. Perfect. Next, I'll add my characters. The template provides all sorts of graphics, so here I'll choose my dog for Rocks. Again, just right-click and copy, and then paste him. I can change the color of Rocks. And now I'll add Rex. Again, right-click to copy, and then right-click and paste. I'll simply click on Rex and drag him over. And I can also change Rex's color to be that orange cat. I want Rex facing the other direction, so I'll flip him so that it looks like he's walking down the path. I can also resize both my graphics or characters at any time. Let's add their facial expressions. You can see at the bottom, I can flip back between all of my pages. So I have access to all of those graphics. Next, let's add our dialogue or speech bubbles so I can show that my characters are speaking. Again, just cutting and pasting those dialogue bubbles and resizing by clicking on the corners. I click on the entire image to drag and move it. Then we'll need to add text. I can choose the text icon on the left-hand side, and then I'll choose the size that I want. Selecting the text box, I'll type in the words that I would like to have appear. I can resize it using the top, plus minus, or by simply grabbing the corners and moving in or out from my text. I'm simply going to copy the text that I've already created so that it's similar in size. And then I'll just edit it by highlighting it and typing the words that I want to appear. Resizing as needed. If you don't have an image to place on your comic, you can always search in Canva. Let's say we wanted to add a bird. So I just searched bird under elements. And I can resize the bird and place him in the scene. I could also use an image for a background. Let's say I was inspired by a visit to the beach and I wanted to do a comic that had a beach scene with a big wave. So I might type in beach and then choose a wave or ocean image from there. There are endless options in Canva, so I hope you enjoy playing and exploring to create your comic or your story. So there you have it. I can't wait to finish my story. Do you think Rex and Rox befriend the dragon? How do you think they'll protect all of the visitors to the park this summer? We'll have to wait and see how I finish that story. Well, I hope you all have a really fantastic summer of reading, and I hope this week you're able to read local and maybe even write or tell some local stories.